Good morning, everyone. What happens when you go from the sea level into the sea or ocean? The surrounding pressure increases. When you go above sea level into the sky, the barometric pressure decreases. Whereas when you go below sea level into the water, the barometric pressure increases with increase in the depth. And the increase will be very drastic. So from the sea level, if you go at least 10 meters below, for every 10 meters, there is increase in 1 atmosphere of pressure. For every 10 meters, there is increase in 1 atmospheric pressure. So at sea level, you breathe at 760 mm, but by the time you reach 10 meters depth into the water, you will breathe at 2 atmosphere. But obvious, you will not breathe from the water because you have to breathe from the cylinder containing air, but that cylinder will be also under the increased pressure, surrounding pressure, and your lungs are also inhaling and exhaling at its increased pressure. So when you are going deep up to few meters, there won't be any problem, like 100 feet under, there won't be much problem. But if you go further into the depths, the more and more pressure increases, the more and more dissolution of the gas increases. So at higher barometric pressure, this leads to oxygen toxicity and nitrogen narcosis. What is this oxygen toxicity? Is mainly when you go from sea level to the depths of ocean, the surrounding pressure increases and oxygen partial pressure also increases. But hemoglobin is limited in your blood, and the hemoglobin oxygen saturation reaches a constant uh, flat line. But the dissolved oxygen content increases directly proportional to the increase in partial pressure of oxygen. So as the pressure increases, mainly the dissolved oxygen content increases and overall oxygen carrying capacity of the blood increases. The same principle we used in superbaric hyperbaric oxygen therapy for anemic hypoxia, increasing the dissolved oxygen content. But only up to particular levels we require that, not more than that. That leads to O2 toxicity. And more than O2 toxicity, nitrogen narcosis is very, very dangerous. What is this nitrogen narcosis? So when you breathe compressed air, especially air in the cylinder surrounded by the this increased pressure from the sea, there will be increase in dissolution of nitrogen, which is similar to alcohol intoxication. The symptoms will be like alcohol intoxication. Especially nitrogen get easily dissolved in the lipids at higher pressures in the fat cells, reducing the nerve conductance and neuronic excitability. So how to prevent this nitrogen narcosis? Instead of breathing air from the cylinder, replace the air with helium oxygen mixture. Why? Helium is a lighter gas compared to the nitrogen, density is less and it has less effect of this nitrogen on fat cells and ionic conductance. No, problem is not much with going into the depths. This occurs nitrogen narcosis and oxygen toxicity occurs at very deeper parts where you don't swim normally. Even in sea diving and all, you'll go to only particular, not less more than 100 feet. But the problem is with ascent to the surface. The ascent to the surface, if there is a rapid ascent, there will be decompression sickness, Caisson's disease, chokes, bends. These are different names for same disease. What is the disease? Mainly the decompression sickness. That means rapidly when a person ascends, initially the body tissues are equilibrated with higher partial pressures of gas. Right, as you go into the depths, the partial pressure of gases increases and the gas is dissolved in the tissues, blood, alveoli increases. Especially tissue partial pressure of the gases is very high. So during the ascent, you can see this tissue partial pressure of the nitrogen, which is dissolved, is very high at the higher pressures compared to the blood and alveoli when you're going towards the surface from the deeper part. So from the high pressure areas, when you go to low pressure areas, the gases diffusion will be very fast. But normally we are talking about diffusion at the respiratory membrane, but here diffusion occurs within the tissues. Immediately the pressurized gases from the tissues will liberate from the tissues, liberate into the blood. Even the gases dissolved in the blood at higher pressures will be liberated within the blood itself, causing forming mainly the air bubbles, mainly the nitrogen bubbles in the tissue. If the bubbles are large enough and the coils form emboli, will obstruct the blood. especially causing arterial gas embolization. If there are emboli in the pulmonary circulation, in brain and coronary circulation, this will cause infarction, strokes, etc. So the problem is with the rapid ascent, because the gases dissolved at higher pressure will be decompressed easily and forming gas bubbles in the tissue, local circulation, systemic circulation. So that is the reason why the supersaturated gases from the tissues will easily go into the blood when a person goes from deeper depths into the surface rapidly when he ascends. So decompression sickness, the severities of three types. Type 1, short, means when slow, when person goes to only a few meters deep, but as the depth increases, the severity also increases. It's not about the depth, it's about going to the depth and coming rapidly. But most dangerous being gas embolization. So treatment is very simple. If a person ascends rapidly, he has to immediately shift to a compression chamber, again increasing the pressure to the pressures at which he went to the depth. Like person went into, let's say, some 50 meters, 100 meters depth. He ascend very rapidly. Let's say in submarine, some soldiers are there. Normally submarines will be, again, they will be like maintained at the atmospheric pressure, or else, sometimes underwater works, persons will be going in a chambers known as caissons. Whatever might be the reason, if a person is in depths of ocean, the air he is breathing from those cylinders will be at higher pressures, the dissolving the gases in the tissue. When he ascends rapidly, immediately transfer him to the compression chambers, where increase it to the depth, slowly reduce the pressure outside his body, especially outside his body surface and these cylinders, etc. So slow and gradual ascent. When a person went up to, let's say, 80 feet depth or 60 feet depth, so slowly he has to come up. At around 50 feet depth, he should be at 10 minutes. 40 feet 17 minutes, 30 feet 19 minutes, 20 feet. Why like this is mainly we are slowly allowing the pressures rather than becoming drastically forming emboli. We are allowing the body to adjust to the surrounding pressures, and the dissolution of the gas is reduced, and the gas exchange is set every time from the alveoli with the surrounding pressures, and slowly your body will adapt so that there won't be formation of the emboli. So when a person rapidly ascends, damage to a submarine or somewhere something happened, person is at deeper parts, suddenly rapidly he has to ascend for his taking air, but he will undergo decompression sickness. So such person, you have to send them to the compression chambers, where you have to maintain the different pressures, higher pressures to lower pressures for different minutes, so that there won't be formation of gas bubble. Slowly, normally gas exchange occurs at different pressures from higher to lower without forming gas bubbles in the blood vessels. That is your main motive of treatment. What is scuba? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, where you will go nowadays scuba diving. Here also scuba diving. Most importantly, what is important? Maintain helium oxygen cylinders and maintain the pressures when you are ascending to the surface. So this is very important to mainly prevent the decompression sickness. So this finishes our physiology, respiratory system. There are many miscellaneous topics in that. Go through your textbook. If you have any doubts, we will have Zoom sessions. You can message separately, individually. Also, okay, study well. Go through your textbooks. Watch the videos regularly. Again in loops. Okay. Thank you.